Welcome to Clout Boulevard TV. It is your girl, Caddy the baddie. All the fine things call me Daddy. You know how it goes. And today we are honored with a very amazing guest star.
Christyle Numen,
Hello.
aka Glam Boy, aka the 1050 God. Out here, Clout Boulevard. We out here. What's up?
I'm on the way, yeah. Shit ain't the same, yeah. Niggas ain't poppin' no fire ain't the popular, but I got something to say, yeah. Most of the niggas I left behind, they ain't tryna give me a rose, yeah. I run like I left them in rows, yeah. I'm at the top all alone, yeah.
Khadija.
It's so nice to finally meet you guys. Oh my gosh, you look phenomenal.
Thank you.
Love this outfit.
Thank you so much.
What inspired this? Let's start there.
Silk.
Silky.
Yeah, silky. So like that's a term that I
Spicy.
came up like for myself.
Okay.
So like I always ask people like, what's the first thing you think about? Like when you think about like silk, what's the first thing that you think about?
I just think, shine.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because
So
you're
like when you
shining.
look good, you're shining. When you look good, you're classy. So like I just incorporate silky with that.
Okay. So I want to know about your name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, obviously your name is Chris,
Yeah.
right? So how did you get to Christyle Numen?
So like I think from like a young age, I think from like primary, I used to like love dressing well. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like people around like always used to like be like, yo, if it's in style, in style, in style. So the more I grew into my creative process,
Yeah.
I knew like I needed like a nickname type thing. So then I was like, okay, my name's already Chris. And
Not Brown.
no.
Get that clear.
No. But yeah, my name's already Chris. So and people already say I have style. So I was like,
Might
let's
as
put that
well.
stuff together. And then like when you put Christyle together, there's Christ in it as well. You know what I mean? So that symbolizes like a higher, more powerful me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you say like spirituality plays a very big role in your
Yeah,
life?
it plays a huge role in my life because I went through a stage where I was like very, very, very religious, and I was very like invested in religion and the spiritual world and how everything works.
Yeah.
So that actually like built. It actually made me who I am today, basically. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So on that note, I actually want to talk about, in your music, you talk a lot about mental health and all that kind of stuff. I want to know, like, as an artist, what is your existential process that you had to go through for yourself in order for you to actually find yourself?
So from primary as well, I always
Okay.
used to have like popular friends at school. Like my friends used to be popular at school. So I was like the kid that was like not cool, sitting in the corner.
The introvert,
Yeah, the
the black
introverted.
sheep.
Yeah, exactly. So I used to be that person.
Yeah.
So I observed a lot, I saw a lot, and I experienced a lot with that. And as I was growing, then I actually did dancing, and I was actually the best in Middleburg. And then
IBS,
I was
in case you
actually
guys
the
didn't
best in
know.
Middleburg. And then like I guess the dancing thing sort of faded off.
Yeah.
And then I went into writing because
Yeah.
I used to find it hard to express myself as well. Like I couldn't like put words together. It was just so weird. But I used to love words, but I couldn't like really like put words together.
Yeah.
So the only way I could like make a sentence make sense was when I'm writing it down.
Okay.
So that's how I started with everything. I started like writing everything down until things turned out the way they turned out. I met a producer.
Okay.
He was like, yo, I do beats. And I was like, okay, I write, so I might as well. And then I started getting into production, and yeah, that made me, I guess, that got me where I am today.
So how did you find your flow as an artist? Because I feel like obviously in that time you went from being a dancer to now meeting producers, or rather being a songwriter. When you were writing, was it music writing or was it just journaling?
I think it was it was mostly like spoken word because I used to watch and listen to a lot of
So poetry, okay.
Yeah, I used to listen to a lot of poetry.
Yeah.
So I actually started doing spoken word. Like I actually used to perform at places as well. But
Dope.
just doing like spoken word.
Like open mics and
Yeah,
stuff
like
like
open
that.
mics. Yeah, I
Okay,
used to do
cool.
that a lot in Joburg. So I started doing that, and then the more I did that, the more like everything came together the way it came together. Cause
Yeah.
I didn't actually anticipate to actually be doing music. Like
Yeah.
that wasn't my aim from the beginning. Like,
What did you think you were gonna be?
I want to be a businessman. Like we had like a career day, like in
Oh, but I
primary,
can
like
see
day
it.
2, and I was like in a suit, and I was like, yeah, I want to be a businessman. So probably that was what I was gonna be
Yeah.
if I wasn't doing music. So yeah, I just started writing words, expressing myself, just expressing how I feel. And the more I recite it, and the more I say to people, the more they're like, yo, I can actually relate. Then
Yeah.
from that, I was like, okay, maybe I can make this thing a thing. Let me just start recording a song. Recorded my first song, came out, start all over again. Like people still talk about it, like till
Yeah.
this day, you know. It was like a very defining moment in my life, because it started my whole music career.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like, from there, with that whole transition, how would you say you got your flow into like the whole Christyle sound? Because I do think it's very like unique. As much as you can hear other conscious rappers, you have your own specific sound.
Yeah.
How did you get to that?
Yo, that's crazy because I started like even now like I do like a lot of kinds of like different kinds of music.
Yeah.
Like I could like, but I think back then I used to do like more spiritual, more like religious, more like community, like what's going on in my
Yeah.
community, like you know, like that.
Around you as
Yeah, what's
well.
going on around me, how life is around me, how I'm feeling, and I'd always like hope that there's someone out there that can listen and be inspired by the music that I make. So I just started doing like your normal boom bap music, like your normal boom bap music, your
Yeah.
normal yo, what's going on in the hood, what's going on, politics, a lot of things that were happening in the society. That's how I started, and then I just grew to do more the more I grew into the industry.
Would you say there was a specific artist that maybe inspired that for you as well?
Well, I'm a crazy Lil Wayne fan.
Okay.
So I think Lil Wayne is actually the artist that actually opened my mind to different genres. Because Lil Wayne could take out like an album like The Carter 3. That's like straight hip hop in the streets, they feeling it. And then take out an album like I'm Not a Human Being, where it's like rock.
Yeah.
And like he'd feature on like a Destiny's Child song, like a love song, and then
I feel you.
know what
Like
I
an
mean?
R&B type
Yeah, like
shit.
an R&B thing, and his voice would like be the same everywhere. And like when I used to listen to radio a lot, like on Metro FM, they used to play like the top 40 whatever, and he'd be like on like 20 songs, and it's different genres. So then when I saw that out, that inspired me to actually do more and like go into different genres of music instead of sticking to where I was comfortable, you know.
I feel
So
that.
till this day, like I always look for stuff that make me feel uncomfortable. Like I still go into genres that make me feel uncomfortable so that I can actually figure it out
Yeah.
and grow from it, basically.
On the note of discomfort, I want to know, because I know at some point you had to obviously go to the city to go pursue your music career. How was that for you? Like, how would you say that challenged you and challenged your comfort in terms of first being known here and having like a reputation here and building something here, and then having to transition that side where there's more people that are doing what you're doing as well, you know?
So my move to Joburg was a huge struggle because like in Middelburg, I think the thing, and we were just talking about it earlier, like I think the problem with Middelburg is like burner performance. There's no burner performance in Middelburg. So like
Yeah.
if I'm a rapper and I'm doing my own thing and I have like my 50 fans, I'm good. Then the next person's doing their music and they have their 20 and
Yeah.
whatever. That's just how Middleburg is. So there's not much competition. Like there's not much like
I get that.
yo, we're all gunning for that spot. So like when you get to Joburg, you meet people of like that like come from around the whole country that
Yeah.
are doing that think they're as dope as you, if not doper. So now you have to sort of prove yourself. And the way things are done in Joburg and here, the language is different. Like when you get into the industry, the language is different. Who you associate yourself with counts a lot in Joburg. So like those are the things that I had to unfortunately learn by myself. Make mistakes, come back, make a mistake, come back, make a mistake, come back. But yeah, basically, the whole game in Middleburg, even let me say Gauteng, the whole game there is different. The language is different. So I just had to learn that over the years, and yeah, basically that's what it. Yeah, I think that's the most challenging thing for me, like, because also association is also like a big thing. So you have to learn how to you have to go to these events, learn how to talk to these people, and learn how to sort of make the conversation go in a direction that you'd want it to go so that
Yeah.
you can also benefit from whatever opportunity that's in front of you.
So would you say that it's not really based on talent, but more so about who you really know?
Nah, I don't think the music industry in South Africa is based on talent. I think it's all based on what moves can you make, who do you know, what can you do.
Yeah.
Because I also entered a competition, right? Sports scene competition.
Okay.
So the first time I entered, I went there alone, right? Went there alone. It's just me. So they ask you to send like a bio.
Okay.
So me, I'm thinking like the intro, the person hosting is gonna read from your bio, but then they come to you 5 seconds before and they're like, what must we say about you? And that time I'm nervous. I'm like, yo, I'm about to perform, bro. I'm about to perform. Then this guy comes and he's like, yo.
Dude.
This guy comes and he's like, what should I say about you? Then I'm like, then he's like, then he went on stage and he's like, yo, this guy is saying, come on stage. That was my sports scene intro.
What a
the
dick
first intro,
move.
right? And then the second time, and then I entered the second time. The second time, it was all different.
Yeah.
Because like the second time was where now Slick came with me.
Okay.
And Christyle was with me. You know what I mean? So now, and it was the same hosts, but now they came to me. They're like, "Oh, dude, hey, who are you?" And I'm like, ah, "Bro."
Now they recognize
Yeah,
you.
like now they recognize. Hey, what? Let me listen to your music. Are you on Apple Music? Yeah. What's your rap name? Then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. Now it's different. Now the language is different. How they treat you is different now. So those are the things that showed me like about association, how important association is, and like the spaces that you step into. Like, who do you know there? Who can sort of shout out your name so that everyone is like, hey, who's that guy? You know, it's not all about talent.
So for you, working with Slick and you said Josiah as well, how was that for you? How was that experience?
Yo, it was for me. It was a huge experience because I learned a lot from it. You know, I saw like work ethic. I learned work ethic from Slick. Like I saw like, okay, work ethic. This is how we do this, whatever. This is the process. Because I mostly record by myself.
Okay.
Because I taught myself how to produce, taught myself how to record, taught myself how to do everything, edits, mixing and mastering. So I mostly do all of that for myself creatively. So now working with someone like Slick, like teaches you to sort of, okay, I'm gonna focus on this, you focus. Like that was like I could say my struggle. Like, okay, I'm only focusing on recording and the rest is on someone else's hands, you know what I mean? But yeah, the process, the recording process was very informative for me. I still use like some of the things that I learned there now. I met big people, like he has his awards there. I was holding his awards, and you know that's like a very inspirational moment for an artist because
I can imagine.
Yeah, I'd like to guess like every artist wants to get to a point where they're like, yo, one day I also want to hold a South African award or like a SAMA or whatever it is. So I saw the awards. I saw,
and not
like,
just the award, but also
in.
be in that space as well.
Like
Yeah.
the people that I worked with there, like I worked with Lady Zama, I worked with Mani Badu, and many other names.
Yeah.
Okay. So just getting to know those people and actually having genuine conversations with them was like a very eye-opening moment for me because I would have never guessed that I would land there because all I was doing when it comes to music was just expressing myself.
Yeah.
That was all. That was my aim. I wasn't expecting to be famous. I was expecting to be in rooms with like one of the biggest artists in the country.
Yeah.
Like DJs that are like controlling, you know what I mean? DJs that are in the loop, like DJs that are in the streets. Like I never anticipated that. Like I never expected that to happen for me.
So I
I'm
feel like,
grateful for everything.
sorry, I feel like a lot of artists, when they're in that space, they kind of get like starstruck. And I think we're having that problem right now, especially with the whole arguments about Yanos and people claiming it as their own now in different countries as well. I want to know, how do you set those boundaries for yourself as an artist and when it comes to your music in terms of having your own ownership and not having people overstep, I don't know how to put it, but not overstep your creative control basically. How do you set those boundaries?
I think as an artist, as a creative, right? I believe that you should be confident in everything that you do.
Yeah.
Like you should know yourself. You should know, and you should be able to talk for yourself. Doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
You know, like me, I'm like a student of the arts first. Like I love the art of music. So whatever I do, hey, this mama. Yeah. So so
On that note,
you're
guys,
still
I
on the
think
bar.
we should actually take a 5-second break and give the movement a chance.
A few moments later.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. So,
So what was the question?
we're talking about your boundaries, how you...
Oh, boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a student of the arts first. You know what I mean? So I don't just do music because it's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I do my research and I make sure that I'm as informed and I know as much as I could.
Yeah.
Like every day I look forward to learning something new about the music. So when I get to spaces like that, I already have knowledge about a lot of things. So it's easier to maneuver in those spaces and not like, because like a lot of people try to, actually there's this thing that people do where they like try to, like act like cool.
Yeah,
like,
I
or,
get
like,
that.
Try to be something that they're
Like
not.
they have a facade.
Yeah, like a facade, like an alter ego type thing.
Yeah.
But whenever I go into any studio, I go in expecting to learn something. You know what I mean? So I never look at anyone above me, and I don't see myself above anyone else. Like we're all creatives here coming together to make something great. That's how I
Yeah.
look at every studio session that I go to, basically.
So if you had to compare your music when you started versus now, how would you say your concept of good quality music has changed? What is good quality music to you now?
Well, right now, what I'm looking at the most is the musicality in the music.
Yeah.
Because I worked with a lot of producers. Like, I didn't know there was a difference between, like, a producer and a musician. You know what I mean? Until I worked with, like, a producer, then I worked with a musician. Like, so, like, with a producer makes a beat, and he's like, okay, bro, here's a beat.
Yeah.
Then you, like, try to make sense of, like, how you want to go on it and what key it's on and where your voice is comfortable and stuff like that. But, like, when you're working with a musician, he, like, sort of follows your lead.
Yeah.
Okay, bro, okay, you where's your voice comfortable? Then you say, then he sort of plays where, then you, it's like it's different processes that come with that.
Yeah.
You know, and the musicality part of production actually taught me a lot about, and it actually grew how I write as well, because like there's also like different segments of a song that you have to look at before you actually record a song. Like you have to look at, okay, the intro, the middle, and the end, the climax and the end and stuff. So you
Yeah.
have to know what to do, and it all has to make sense via production and via how you go about it and how you approach the beat. So that's basically what I'm looking at now. That's what I'm focusing on now as a creative and as an artist. But good music for me now is like anything that is musical, bro. Like not just like, because a lot of guys like just make a beat and it's like 2D, like a 2D beat, and just put
I
a
get
voice on
that.
it and the song is done. but there's so much more that comes with production and the process even after recording a song. Like the process, there's a whole nother process to that. So I learned that a lot now working with musicians, like actual musicians that actually studied music and that actually do music and that are actually invested in the music.
Yeah.
And their instrument is their voice, the same way my voice is an instrument. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay, so before we get to the end, I just want to know, what can we expect from you now? Like, what do you have that you're working on? What are your new projects? Tell us. Sell yourself.
Okay, so I've been working with a superstar rock star.
Okay.
Called New Scales. Scala Mapodlela, shout out my nigga. We've been working on a lot of music, like we've just been camping. Like
Yeah.
we've just been camping. Like can stay like 2 weeks without getting out the house, like making music. So I have a couple of songs with him, so we're probably gonna compile something and release like a project. Could be an album, could be my debut album. Because I've never
Okay.
released an album actually. Like I don't yo,
Heard it here
like
first, by the way.
releasing projects for me is like a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like I think that's why I haven't like released an album yet. But yeah, we're working on a lot of music together, and we're probably gonna release that, you know, pretty soon. But there's a single that I'm going to release soon. It's called "Don't Break."
Okay.
So the song basically talks about not breaking. Like yes, like
Literally.
you go through a lot of situations and you get a lot of disappointments as you go along, but don't let that break you. So like that's what the song is about basically. But yeah, more collabos, more silky.
On
What are
that
you doing more?
note,
Yeah.
I want you to give us like any inspiration for any upcoming artists that are also following in your lead.
Don't break, bro.
Don't break.
Don't break.
You heard it here.
Don't fold. Don't fold. Don't break, man.
So thank you so much to you, Christyle, for taking the time to show up on Clout Boulevard.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being silky, for being spicy. You know, we are definitely excited for your new project. And yeah, shout out to you.
I'm on the way, shit ain't the same, niggas ain't popping no fire ain't the popular, but I got something to say. Most of the niggas I left behind, they ain't tryna give me a rose. I run like I left them in rows. I'm at the top all alone.